I can't get them out. They pass the test?
Yeah.
Oh, you look nice.
You're an old man with a flat bill on.
Do I look like an old man?
You are an old man and you're wearing a flat bill.
So you're wearing a flat bill? You're only 3 years younger than me.
I ain't as old as you.
Alright, we'll start with the top one, top right. One mainframe 8 with a kicker.
154 to
154 to 156? They'll appreciate that. 147 will change.
Holy crap.
Alright. 145. 145. Left, the deer on the left.
142. No. 137. No, 137. 134.
137. On the money with that one. All right, now the hard one, the one to the right. 5x5, mainframe 10.
140, 143. 139.
139, 143, 152. He's got that extra point. The other two are 9s, he's a 10, and that makes a difference having that G4, you know.
That's a big deal.
Wow, we got a bonus one. Actually, we got a bonus out. So what do you think on that one?
I was thinking I'll go 155. Probably like 156.
155 was my guess on the hook. 149.
I was gonna say that too.
All right, the big one with all the points to the left.
Oh, that's gotta be like 180.
I mean, those ones are hard to judge.
Yeah. 184.
194? It ranges between what, 196 and 199 depending on who. It's been officially scored like 3 times, but between 196 and 199.
That's a tricky job.
Yeah. They got that one on their YouTube channel. You can watch the story.
How old is that dude?
All right, guys. Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Simon Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
Your track job was the first fun track job.
Oh, that was the best.
That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Looking back on it, my biggest regret was opening day. I knew where it needed to be. I should have just done a simple hang and bang off the corner of that field, and he would have been toast. But I didn't.
That was our first public land deer hunting trip, and it went extremely well. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
It was a 90-yard shot pass through.
And then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's what Caleb did.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years. And, not to get too crazy emotional about it, but like
10 years, no buck. All right, guys, Deer Shop Podcast, episode 54. We are here at the Medina County Fair at the Wilderness Adventures exhibit. We have a combined booth right now between Wildtine TV and Simon Brothers Outdoors. We had separate booths earlier in the week, and we just kind of took the middle barrier out and decided to make it one booth. It's been a busy week. I'm sitting here with Jason Sulzner, Madison Coates, and Joey Pavlovich. 3 taxidermists, actually. I'm surrounded by taxidermy right now. I was going to ramble on a little bit and get everyone kind of acclimated and get the jitters out with a little bit of a bullshit session at the beginning, but you're strapped on time, right?
Strapped on time.
Strapped on time. So we'll get our bullshit out in a little bit. We'll just start with Jason and just kind of have him do his spiel. This is the second year of the exhibit.
Yep.
You've kind of taken the lead on it both years. Kind of give us a little bit about what's going on with that and what the goal is and how well it's been going. And
been trying to get this going for about 4 years, actually. Took a little bit convincing with the rest of the board, but it's going absolutely unbelievable. It's a free show for the kids. Trying to basically get a little bit over 70% of our county is suburbs, not country. Trying to get these kids off the couch and just try and learn and see and do things that they normally wouldn't be able to get to do, and it's just been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, I would say attendance is definitely up this year over last year. And last year, we were happy with last year's attendance.
Yeah, I would say honestly it's double right now.
Yeah.
The fishing people told me the other day that they had already had almost 2,000 kids through here, just in the fishing. So.
Yeah. So have they been counting?
Yeah, they're keeping a head count just on
Okay.
the fishing. That doesn't count all the parents
Right,
and the smaller
right.
kids that aren't actually active in that. So
That's cool that they're doing the head count. I guess before we get too far along, for anyone that's not a local, I know a lot of our listeners are local guys, but if you're not local, we're at the Medina County Fair this week. Like I said, Wilderness Adventures exhibit. It's open 3 to 7 every day. By the time this podcast airs, it'll already be, the fair will be over. But
over.
It will be a thing next year, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's been a huge hit. I don't see it being an issue not doing it again.
So this is our second year. It's Joey's second year being here as well. I don't foresee any reason why we wouldn't be here again. I enjoy it. It's it's a fun week. This is Madison's first week.
Yeah.
So Madison, you run Dead Set Taxidermy. This is your first year in here, right? You weren't here last year.
Nope, I wasn't here, but last year.
What's your overall just general impression then, I guess?
I have loved it. The amount of people that have come up to my booth and not known a single thing about how taxidermy works. They think that somehow you just cut it off at the shoulders and stick it on the wall and somehow preserve it there.
Freeze dry the deer.
But the people of all ages, like, getting interested in it has been great. And being able to teach people how it all works has been super fun.
How many deer have you mounted this week?
Just the one. I mounted the one that I have been, like, I had to adjust the form and start the first day. Finished that one on Wednesday, and then I've been painting a buck that I mounted a couple weeks ago. Kind of been procrastinating on it, used it as an excuse to do it here.
Yeah.
And so got that one painted yesterday, tweaked it a little bit today, and today I am doing an antler repair.
Cool. Jason, vendor list for this event so far. So we have, obviously we've already touched on Simon Murray's Outdoors, Dead Set Taxidermy, Wildtine TV. You have what's the animal, the reptile center here that's in between us?
That's the Cleveland Reptile Show.
Okay. It's had a long line every week too, when they're here.
Yeah. They're not here full hours every day, but they bring snakes, lizards, all kind of different stuff for the kids to handle and pet. It's been a pretty good hit.
We did a podcast with Wildtine a couple days ago, and there was like a python right behind Joey's head the entire time that we were recording the podcast.
I think when people come to pet the reptiles too, they pet most of our low-hanging deer.
Yeah. You guys, next year, we've already kind of discussed this a little bit. Next year, I think we're going to do something similar if we're allowed to, boss man. We're going to do like a combined booth, and we're going to move all Joey's deer to the back.
I'll see what I can.
So people can't pet them. A lot of finger time on those deer this
I
week.
missed the whitetail display from last year though.
I'm trying to change it up every year, just
Yeah.
keep it new and fresh. What I'm afraid of is if we do the same thing every year, people will eventually just get bored with it. Right now, it's just a life-size life-size animal display.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening, last year we put a Bucks of Medina County, which is the county we're in, display up. How many deer heads were up there last year?
53, I believe.
So we had 53 deer all on the same wall, all different sizes. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
This year, if you come into if you were in here at the display, like Jason said, it's a North American like a wildlife. There's caribou, there's some deer, fox, turkeys, ducks.
A wolf attacking a deer, that's really neat.
Whatever happened to the bear? So that bear,
the bear
last
is
year,
over there.
The bear is over there?
The bear is over there.
Because that bear last year made its rounds and like ended up in people's campers and stuff. It's a color phased brown bear, right? Or a black bear.
No, it's just a black bear.
It is black?
Yep.
I just remember that it was used as a prank throughout the week.
Yes, it was.
Life size.
Some of the pieces, parts, toes, things like that aren't exactly intact still, but we got it.
So we also have Timber Beast, which is an axe throwing. In Medina, it's an axe throw. What would you call it? An axe throwing?
Yeah, it's an axe throwing company, and they actually have an inflatable axe throwing range that they brought for the kids to do. That way, nobody's getting their skulls split open, things like that.
Smart.
It's been a pretty big hit.
Have you ever been up there to the actual Timber Beast?
I have not.
So it's like kind of wild. Like you'll throw the axe or the throwing sort of stuff, and sometimes you'll like bounce back and come flying.
Oh, really?
So that's probably why.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, that's probably why they brought the plush ones.
Medina Raptor Center.
Raptor Center. You just let them in.
They just brought 7 or 8 birds today, so it's going to be a pretty good seminar today. People are already sitting down waiting for it.
That's cool. That's cool. The main sponsor is Lampier's Lawn Service. They don't really have much of a booth. They just have like their stuff set up over there. They were giving away T-shirts and stuff, but they were all gone the first day.
I think they ran out. They keep trying to resupply every day, but they're gone within an hour.
And that's a local landscape. It's your competition, actually.
I am competition.
Local landscaping company. Cabela's is here. The ODNR is here. We already talked about the fishing. You guys need to put one big fish in there next year. I know you had bigger fish in there last year and it was breaking the poles.
Well,
I think it'd be cool to have like one token large fish in that.
We had a bunch of koi last year, and every morning I would come in here. They were laying dead on the ground. They were actually spawning, and I guess they tend to want to jump out of the water when they're doing that. So this place started stinking like a fish factory. I didn't like it.
And then there is an airsoft range and a BB gun range.
Yep, the airsoft range is new this year. The BB gun range we had purchased last year, the Fair Board did, and that's been an absolute huge hit.
A lot of people have talked about that when they come over.
Fishing tanks tripled in size. Kids have had a blast. They've been actively biting every day.
Yep. I mean, when you guys open the doors, the kids literally just run to the fishing tank.
The doors aren't even completely open yet.
People love that fishing tank. Anything else you want to add about the Medina County Fair?
Come to the fair, check it out. It's free for the kids with your entry. So,
yeah, I mean, I have a special place for the fair. I love the fair every year. All the events and stuff. I think it's cool that you put this together for people to be able to see a little more of the outdoors. And
it's working well, and it truly seems like the public's enjoying it. Lots of pictures. We're seeing it on social media and everything else. So,
I think
nothing but good comments.
We've all been trying to, post on the internet and kind of get some generate some interest. Today's been the busiest day by far.
Good.
We're selling the hell out of hats over here. John Honigman's just slinging hats for us.
Good. Is he getting money for them, or is he just?
He's trying to get a free hat out of that.
Getting some Wildtine subscribers.
Yeah, he has been.
Hold up.
He has
on
been.
YouTube,
you guys do need to. You need to up that subscriber count number.
Yeah.
I just saw Big Chris Gore just walked into the booth over there. But while I got you guys on, I wanted to talk to you guys a little about your stuff while you're sitting here. We'll start with you, Madison, since this is your first ever podcast and it's your first year here. How long have you been doing your Dead Set Taxidermy?
So I really got into deciding I was going to get into it, going to learn about taxidermy about late last fall.
Okay.
It was around December that I got in contact with Jason.
Okay.
And he was nice enough to kind of show me the ropes and teach me a good amount about it. Did my first mount myself, and I was hooked. Decided this is probably what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. It's been something I can obsess over and really have fun with it, really be creative. And I have always had an interest in taxidermy for years now, and been obsessing over different poses, what poses I would get if I did get a shoulder mount, and just have loved all the options you can do with it.
Are you just doing whitetails right now?
Right now, yeah. I would love to get my hands on anything I can and play with it. Only thing I will probably never do is pets.
Yeah.
And
I find that so strange that people want
I've
to
had
get their
4
dog
people
mounted,
ask me this week.
Or their cat.
Really?
We've been keeping count how many people come up and ask me.
Take a picture,
A lot of cat people always ask for stuff like that.
They're just going to sit there on their couch and just keep petting it.
I guess.
Not a single one have asked me about a cat. It's been all dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine's always been cats.
You're never going to do it justice either.
No, and that's what I tell them. I'm working with a heartbroken owner that has seen their pet all these years.
Yeah.
And if you don't capture their essence in the way that they've seen them all their life, their best friend, they're just going to be heartbroken all over again. And I don't want to be put in that situation.
You guys actually get a lot of inquiries about that, throughout the year, people asking about pets?
Not so much with me anymore. I know when I first started the first few years, people wanted me to do their pets. Honestly, I think it's a little disgusting.
I find that so strange. I mounted a deer with Jason one time. What was that, 2018, 17?
Yeah, it was a few years ago.
It was 2017.
It's actually
here, isn't it? No, it's not here. It was here last year. We had it in the booth last year. I liked the process, but man, the attention to detail, and you got to be dedicated.
Madison's
I'm
quality.
sitting with all taxidermists here, so nothing you guys all don't know. But
Madison's quality, just in a few short months, is definitely state competition qualified for sure, hands down.
Yeah.
we'll definitely keep you in mind because I got 2 taxidermists and I don't really like them. So
Because he doesn't like the bills.
No one likes the bills. I'm not even going to ask if you guys charge because every good hunter knows that if you want your deer to be justice to be done to your deer, you're going to spend some money. For sure. That's just the way it is. But
yeah, your stuff looks super good.
Thank you.
Especially that was your 3rd deer you mounted.
Yeah.
This week. That looks good. A lot better than my 3rd deer, I think.
What was the 3rd deer that you mounted? Like, do you still have it? Was it one of yours?
On my own?
Yeah. Was it like a customer's?
It was probably my grandpa's. I know my first one. I don't think I put like any clay in the eyes, and it's just huge bug eyes. It's up on my dad's wall. My second one was one of Drake's bucks, sweet double patch buck, and I just butchered the hell out of it. Like stitches just pulled everywhere.
Yeah.
And then the 3rd one was my grandpa's. Jason helped me fix that one a little bit.
Yeah, we touched that one up a bit. Yep.
And I gave it to him for Christmas. But they're rough. Like I want to take the one on my dad's wall. At least I want to take down and mount it, get a new cape for it. But he's like, no, just leave it. It's cool. You know, it shows you where you started. And I'm like, God damn, that thing looks terrible.
I can appreciate it because the attention to detail you guys got to have and the process it takes. It's not for me, but every deer hunter loves having a good taxidermist, or 2 or 3 that they can rely on. We actually have right here behind us, it might be in the camera shot, I don't know, depending on what eyes you get angle-wise. We have 2 of Joey's and 1 of Jason's bucks on the wall right there, so they look good. And obviously they're going to be able to see Bankrupt in that camera, so Joey just did that one.
Not totally finished, but
it looks good.
See him in that.
It
looks alive.
Yeah, it looks really good. Matt, we should have brought one of yours, Madison, but we'll come over and film some B-roll after the podcast for the intro. All right, Joey, I guess I'll move on to you. How many deer did you take in this year?
26.
And you're all done?
All done, yep.
All done.
All done, just did an elk last 2 weeks ago right now. Did the elk I shot in Colorado in 2021.
Okay.
That was a process. I don't think I want to do another elk.
Jason said he loves that.
I love doing elk.
Really love elk?
Yeah, it's fun. Not the stitching so much, but the rest of it.
Yeah, it was just a lot.
I mean, they're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything you do with the deer, but much bigger.
Yeah. I guess the process was the same, but just lots. 26 deer. Last year I finished like in September. I know like Ethan's buck. I got back to him right before deer season. This year I finished in June. Probably mid-June. I got my last deer out. So I was on schedule.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to get some more deer this year.
I was gonna ask that. How many deer you're planning on getting?
Yeah, I haven't really done any advertising. It's just been friends and family, word of mouth. Get a couple strangers here and there. But last 3 years I've done 25 and got them back, to their owners before deer season every year. I think I could at least take 10 to 15 more and be comfortable, even if it goes into deer season a little bit. Shouldn't have a problem with that. But yeah.
I should ask you the same, Madison. I guess, how many deer? I don't know how to phrase it. I guess because you're just getting started out. But how many deer do you have in? How many deer do you plan on taking in? You want to do it full time, just having an endless supply?
So this will be my first year taking customer deer.
Okay.
I would love to do it full time if the numbers will support it. I'm not 100% sure what numbers I'm going to go with. I've talked to multiple taxidermists that I'm friends with that do it full time that are all across the country and kind of got an idea of where I'll be at, expecting me to take a little bit longer than what if they've been doing it for 20 years and expecting me to be doing it a little bit longer per deer and kind of adjusting my numbers by then. But I think I'll just kind of keep track of how it's going throughout the deer season and see where I am, how fast I'm working.
I know you took in less deer. the last couple of years, you've been taking in less, right?
From
your peak, I was going to say.
I got some help now, so I think we did 73 this year.
Okay. You were around 100 prior to that, right?
I think the most I ever did was 86.
86, okay.
Yeah. It depends my mood, I guess, on that particular year on how many I'm going to take in. But with my help, he's been an enormous help with me, and it makes things just go smoother and easier, so I don't mind taking them in. I would say my quota was on, but it was a little slower getting them in this year. Normally I'm cutting them off at 70, 75 before gun season.
Yeah.
And it took all year to get that 73 this year. I think a lot of it had to do with the economy.
The good thing with you guys is you'll be, if Jason shuts his doors or if you guys have too many, you guys can all just bank you around, push them to each other.
Every once in a while, I'll get somebody that comes in and says Jason's too expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Jason's nothing wrong,
I don't know what Jason's real price is because I always haggle him away to try to get a friend price from him.
And then you stick me on these podcasts.
Yeah, well, it's free advertising, man. You've actually made 2 podcasts in the last month.
Yeah.
You might end up being a regular guest.
I don't know about that.
Well, I won't keep you here. I know you're still doing the fair director stuff today, so if you want to bug out, you can. If you want to hang out, that's fine too. I'm going to blab with Joey here a little bit about what he's got going on. Yeah, what he's got going on hunting season-wise, and Madison will be able to chirp in.
Well, you guys have fun. I appreciate it.
Yep. See ya. Thanks. No, I just set it down.
We going to pause?
No.
Is somebody going to hop in? Or
If Luke wants, does anyone want to hop in on the podcast? Hey, Big Chris. You want to hop in?
Get Ethan to hop in.
Come on, man. We're filming live right now.
Ethan.
Anything. You want to jump in and talk about your hats? I don't know what Ethan's doing.
He's right there.
He's ignoring me is what he's doing. All right, we're going to have Luke jump in here, guys.
Big league jumbo boy. My is cutting out.
Yeah.
What did you say I'm for?
Yeah. That's what happens when you leave stuff plugged in the shop for long periods of time. All right, guys, if you're listening, I apologize for that little segue at nothing. But I just had Luke. Oh, hold on. I was getting the breathing. I just had Luke, Leaky Jumbo himself, join in the podcast. You've been slinging hats all week up here at the fair. You just sold.
Yeah.
You've been selling more today than any other day, thanks to John.
Yeah, it seems like we got a new salesman in the Wildtine area selling hats for us. We've sold 10 hats in the last 2 hours, but the rest of the week we've sold probably 5 or 6.
I think it was a 10 all week until today. So
yeah,
we're at 20 hats. That's not too bad.
No, it'll pay for it.
You had some custom-made hats for this week. Newer style deer camp hats. You had leather patch walleyes, leather patch SBO, and the embroidered American bass, which is actually selling a lot.
Yeah, the American bass is selling the most, and I think it's because it's like a generic hat. Like, it's something you could find at the gas station.
Yeah,
it's super simple. American flag outline, or bass with an outline, with a bass outline with an American flag in it. So super simple.
Cool.
People love it.
Cool.
I like I know like a lot of companies like throwing their logo in there with it, but I like how you kind of didn't.
Yeah.
I think that just makes you sell more, like as a merchandise company.
Right.
I mean, I found that that everything you keep your name out of sells more.
Yeah. I mean, you want to put it in there as much as possible, but like the deer camp hat you guys are wearing, it's just deer camp. It'd be cool if you could like embroider stitch it on the side or something, just like SBO or like I don't know.
Problem is that takes it from
extra
$22 to make to $28 to make, and then if you want to sell them, you're not making any money, which you're not really trying to make a ton of money off merchandise, but I mean, when you're trying to sell a hat for $30, we've had some people like turn their nose up at us and kind of run this week, but that's just the way the economy is right now. It's tough.
How do like some of those companies like THP, like I heard a lot of their money comes off of merchandise.
So once you get to a certain size, so like THP, for example, they have their own warehouse.
Yeah.
They buy all their blanks bulk, and then they do all their printing and stuff themselves in-house. I think Hayden on THP is like the guy that does all. Hayden and Mindy basically do all the printing, all the shipping, all the building. So if you can buy a stack of blank hats, 100 hats for $4 a piece.
Well, they're probably doing
a piece.
way more than 100.
Yeah,
I mean,
1,000 hats.
1,000, 2,000, yeah.
And then, so if you only end up having $7.50 or $10 into it, you sell it for $30, you make a $20 profit. We have $22, $24, and $25 in each hat. Selling for $30, making change, but it's more about just it actually started because we just wanted our own stuff to wear.
Yeah, it was cheaper to do like the print on demand for ourselves.
Yeah.
And then when someone wanted something, they could order it.
And that's actually kind of exactly how it started. We wanted our own hats at first, the original SDO hat that we had, like the embroidered one. Like, Luke, we need to find some hats, and then so we bought a bulk order for ourselves, and then just kind of took wings, and we started doing the fishing designs.
Yep.
And here we are.
Here we are with all the different hats and hoodies and T-shirts and everything like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even some designs up on the Wildtine shop.
Yeah, there is a couple designs on the Wildtine shop.
Which ones did you make for them?
The what's like Tines only? It's like a fans only.
Like the
Is
only.
it
Oh,
rotary? Yeah,
it's
that's a
only
good one.
Tines. It's not.
Only Tines. Yeah.
I get it. Like kind of like the OnlyFans logo.
Yeah.
Copyrighted.
Oh yeah. Hopefully they don't see that, but
I don't think they care about it.
no.
Madison, you need any logo wear or merchandise?
I got a guy that he made my logo. He's in Michigan.
Okay.
Actually found him off social media. Like it's like a little group now that I'm consistent with on there. Made my logo, makes my hats, makes my shirts, and then I just do it when I have family or friends say, "Hey, I want a shirt, hat, whatever." I make a list and I make an order through him every couple months.
I love the name. It's a super cool taxidermy name, but how'd you come up with it?
I actually got to give my friend Megan all of the credit on that. I was having a hard time coming up with names, and I was like, I want something creative. I want something that's going to be a little unique. I don't want to put my name in there. Like, I just had her, gave her free range kind of, and she came up with a couple options. We were kind of torn between two, and we decided on this one pretty easily, actually. The more that I started saying it, the more I started writing it down, and all that kind of flowed better. And
cool. So you're like Wadsworth, Seville type area, not far from Jason, then I'm assuming.
Actually,
not far from you either. You
I
guys are
literally
all-
live 3 minutes down the road from Jason.
Okay, all right. So so we'll keep that in mind. I mean, we have, every year our group, we mount 3 to 7 deer, and you don't want to. I always use Jason. Some of the guys started using Joey. But you don't want to take 7 deer to one guy sometimes, the whole entire group. So I have no problem with spreading it around. And we'll definitely keep you in mind. Hopefully we kill 10 bucks this year, and we have just a plethora.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. But let's talk a little bit of deer hunting. Let's finally get into some deer hunting here. Is it okay if we talk about deer hunting?
We can talk about deer hunting.
All right, we can talk about deer hunting. We were on your podcast earlier this week, sitting right here, same place. We talked about everything that we're doing.
Okay.
Let's talk about a little bit what you guys are doing, what you're doing.
Okay.
So you have your first Latitude trip coming up here soon, I'm assuming?
Well, yeah, first Latitude trip is in September, but my first trip is next Sunday. I fly out next Sunday to New Mexico. It's a company called Working Class Hunter, not to be confused with Working Class Bow Hunter.
It'd be a lot cooler if it was
right.
bow.
But they're a YouTube series, carbon series, and it's an aurochs hunt, which should be interesting. It's like a big,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Sheep type deal.
Yeah, big goat type thing, just spear horns. But I guess it shouldn't take long to kill one. I guess there's a bunch of them out there. Only thing I'm worried about is it's going to be hotter than hell out there in the desert.
Yeah,
high 90s, if not hundreds. But doing that,
is it free range?
Yeah, I think it's free range.
So it's kind of like the Axis deer in Maryland.
Exactly.
Texas has some of those wild birds.
Yeah. But there is like you have to draw a tag for it.
Really?
Yeah. So like I know Axis deer in like Texas and stuff, they're just like coyotes here. Like you just shoot them year round, no tag.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but Maryland, when they do their Axis deer thing, how's that work?
I don't know about Maryland.
Yeah, because I know they had a population get released or whatever.
No, I think they're Sitka deer.
You're talking about Sitka deer. Yeah. Sitka deer in Maryland you have to draw a tag, or at least it's over the counter tag.
Okay.
But like, I've been down to Texas 2 or 3 times, and seen a bunch of Axis deer and found a bunch of Axis sheds, and those things are just like running around. Yeah. They just want them all gone.
They got released down there. And
same thing in New Mexico. I think these aurochs got released, and now they've generated a population, and but now you have to draw a tag, and it takes 2 or 3 years. But going out for that should be. I guess there's still a ton of them though. Should be pretty easy. I'll fly home Friday, so that's like kind of a short trip, 4 or 5 days, And then
Is this your first time filming for them?
I filmed for them a couple months ago, doing some
Okay.
deer prep in Southern Ohio.
Okay. How'd you find them, or did they contact you?
Yeah, they founded me
Okay.
through the website I'm on. And then first trip will be, and then next trip is Nebraska Latitude. Heading out there for a few days. I was out there last year with them in November, but their season opens September 1st.
Okay.
So we're gonna head out like the 7th or 8th.
The same weekend that we're going to Kentucky is
yep.
when you're going out there.
Be out there for a week. I'll either go from there to Kansas or to Missouri. One of the two. I was supposed to, whatever one I end up doing. One's Headhunters, one's Latitude. And then I was supposed to leave there and go film Todd Graff with Bowhunter Die.
Okay. Did you name drop us?
What? No, I didn't. Well,
Really?
actually, I was talking to Justin down at the NWTF banquet.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, man, I just listened to you guys' podcast with Simons. I'm good buddies with them. And he's like, what first happened is he pointed out my camera. I was carrying a camera around there taking photos. And he's like, what are you taking photos of? And I'm like, oh, filming, calling competition, blah, blah. And he's like, we're looking for a cameraman. I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He's like, take a card, apply on the website. And Todd reached out to me a few days later, or after the show, and he was looking for a guy. And we've been on and off talking all summer and trying to get something in the works. And he hit me with the Wyoming hunt. And originally Kansas was supposed to be during that time. It's been a hectic week, and people are trying to get people on jobs. And I just texted.
Cameraman like you lives like a rock star in the fall. Just out of buses and cars and airplanes and hotel rooms.
But anyway, I've been just trying to fill my schedule up as tight as possible and not like overlap dates and this and that. And I ended up reaching back out to him like 2 or 3 days ago, and he said, I said I could take it if you still need me. And he said, no problem. I found somebody, but he wants to get something in the works for October, November.
Okay.
So hopefully that works out.
You'll be filming Todd or Justin?
Probably Todd.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been talking to Todd mostly.
I haven't taled to Todd much over the years, but they're good people.
Yeah, he seemed super cool. I talked to him on the phone a couple times.
He's like super. He's just a very what's the word for it? Just like business oriented and like just a go getter, just nonstop.
Yeah, good guy to learn
He's
from.
built up all kinds of different companies over the years and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they were looking for a full-time guy during NWTF, and I kind of dropped the ball. It was like NWTF's right before turkey season, and then, they reached out to me mid-week or something afterwards, and I was already on my way to South Carolina or something, and it was like a mess during turkey season, running around. And I finally got back to him, sent him a long text, like after everything was over, and he's like, we talked on and off throughout the summer, but looking forward to getting in the stand with him this fall for
I'll
sure.
I'll put a good word in for you. I don't know if it means anything at this point, but
send Justin.
I do want to get Justin back on the podcast.
Yeah.
Probably sometime soon. I want to talk about how he canceled his podcast because.
Oh, he did.
Oh yeah, they stopped it like right after I had him on. Like 2 or 3 more weeks went by, and then they canceled their podcast.
Yeah.
I think it was just too much for him. I think he was afraid of getting sued for all the smack he was talking about like Bomars and shit. But I got one for you. If we kill a buck in September in Kentucky, velvet, would you mount a velvet deer?
Oh, that's like my dream.
Because there's no way he's going to be able to do it, run around.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Jason will probably give me some run around about how like blah, 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 blah. But we're planning on killing, we should kill at least one, and we're hoping to kill 2 or 3 velvet bucks in September. And then we'll have to, figure out what we're going to do. And
yeah.
So.
I almost turned around on the highway the other day because I saw someone hit a velvet buck. And I just wanted to go grab it just to go mount it.
Well, you might be able to get one here in about a month when we go down there if we kill a couple. Because I don't know if Jason, I know Jason has mounted some velvet deer, but I don't know the last time Jason's mounted a velvet deer.
I know I've tossed around the idea. I just did fake velvet on a mule deer I shot in Montana, and that turned out good. But if it's like still like blood flowing through it and stuff, I know there's some preservatives to spray on it, but most people I know freeze dry them.
The problem's going to be
freeze dry them.
So the problem's going to be the season starts late for Kentucky this year. It's like the latest it could possibly start. We talked about this the other day. September 7th, I believe, is the start date, which sometimes it opens on September 1st. Usually it's between September 1st and September 7th.
Yeah.
So a lot of those deer are going to there might not be much blood flowing through those
Yeah,
antlers.
it's
Like,
probably
the velvet's going to be
hard
peeling.
underneath,
You know, it's going to be hard underneath. Which I think if it's hard underneath, you can just spray that stuff on it.
Right.
Because
That's where you spray.
Isaac shot that mule deer in Utah a couple years ago, same time, like a little bit earlier, August. He just sprayed it, and the velvet's still fine. So we might do that, and then I'll just Isaac won't be there, so we'll have to research.
No.
We'll have to research the best way to preserve our antlers if we kill a big one.
Yeah.
You can't really drag them out by the antlers and
Maybe.
stuff either if they're.
I think it's kind of the same way. Like just when you get a deer, keep it dry and cool. And
We're gonna have about 50 coolers in case we have to bring all that meat home.
Yeah.
So we'll just have a cooler with some ice in it and keep them dry. And, do our best with that. But what I'm looking forward to most out of you this fall is the bird's nest video. You got to do some justice to the bird's nest video.
I know.
Because I spent my entire fall hunting this deer that Gavin killed on film, and you got the 3-year story.
Yeah. Yeah,
that could be your magnum opus for the season.
Yeah, it could. Definitely.
Yeah.
He's got footage of it both years.
Right.
2 sheds off of it. It should be a textbook story like Bankrupt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to put some time into that.
He's got the kill shot on film, though.
I know.
This is something you didn't have.
Well, yeah. So maybe
I don't blame you.
But I did have 199.
That's true. That's true. I mean, his
that
frame.
That was a big thumbnail.
That's
grab.
Still one of the biggest framed deer I've ever seen.
Yeah, that should be good.
It's awesome. Grab that real quick, Luke. It's already been in the podcast a few times, but just for anyone who's watching today, that's
the deer.
It's huge, yeah.
It's Joey.
Chug.
Joe, yeah, you guys call it Chug. What are you going to call the video?
I have no idea. Something, probably throw the inches in there.
Yeah. But you're not going to call it Bird's Nest or Chug. You'll have to pick a name.
No. Well, Bird's Nest was the shed, the year before. So, if he was tangled up that year, maybe. But probably something with the inches, Ohio.
I'm looking forward. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a cool story.
That buck, Drake's buck. We've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. I missed 3 bucks, which,
You just have those years, man. I missed 1 buck 3 times.
I knew it was going to happen after I shot. I shot my previous biggest buck in 2019.
Yeah.
Went dry 2020. Had a great season 2020, but we just went dry. Didn't shoot a buck. 2021 shot a deer. 22 shot my next biggest deer. 2023, hunted my ass off. Just another fucking year.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be tough going into it. But
Did you kill deer last year?
No, I dropped all my luck the year before.
You killed a big one the year before?
Not a big one, but I got one opening day at Last Light, and it was a heck of a week leading up to that. The bow I was using broke on me.
Was it a Matthews?
No.
Oh damn, I would have loved.
Probably hard.
No, it was a Ross bow. I stole it from my dad.
Was it cardiac, a Ross cardiac?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother, wherever, I don't know where
He
Isaac's
shot one
at
until
right
he shot one until 2 years ago.
Yeah, my brother Isaac shot a Ross cardiac for 12 years.
Yeah, so
it was a good bow.
The draw stop broke on it, and we couldn't find another piece for it. And this was 2 days before opening day, and I was like, I'm already planning on going out this day. I'm gonna figure out how to go out. And so I was digging in my garage, and I found this no-name Amazon bow that I just cranked down the poundage on it. It probably had an axle to axle of 25 inches. And super tiny bow. You couldn't lay the bow down wrong because the sight would move. And it was just a little janky.
All the archers are cringing.
Right. And I got it sighted in and adjusted the draw length and went out the next day in a blind Last Light. Probably shouldn't have taken this shot because I couldn't even really tell what it was.
We've all been there.
I was convinced that it was a decent 8. It was probably a 1.5-year-old 8 that would have been pretty cool the next year. It was actually a 9. I found there was a little drop tine on the back of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you mount it?
No.
No.
Well, it's funny because that year I was like, oh, I'm going to do a Euro mount. I took it to the processor because it was so warm. I was like, I'm not going to be able to take care of it before it goes bad. And I got the head back, and he was like, okay, here you go. And I was like, I can't think of the idea of skinning out this head and cleaning it out. But now I'm doing taxidermy, like, oh, it's an art project. Like, it's completely different mindset for me. Like, I was completely grossed out when I shot that buck. I actually just took rope tied to the tree in my backyard and let nature let nature take care of it. And
Are you gonna mount it now?
probably not.
No?
I would have been wanting to do on that 15-inch cape back there with skinny little neck.
My first buck's Euro mounted. Actually, skull capped with like leather and like stamped to a plaque somewhere. I don't even know where it might be in my basement.
I think it's in the shop.
No, it's displayed in the basement, I think.
What I want to do with that Euro now is, because it's still outside. Like, I'd never actually like bleached it and cleaned it up and like made it white. I didn't really want to go for that look anyway. But I think I'm gonna like make a habitat for it. Like, it looks like I just found a dead head in the woods and a little coffee table display kind of thing.
I like that kind of thing. What are you shooting now, bow wise?
Bear Legit.
Okay.
I looked at Elites. I just got it last year. I looked at Elites. I looked at Matthews. Looked at Hoyt. I even had someone offer me a Hoyt. And
Hoyts. I love my Hoyt, but they're so expensive. I can't get over how expensive the top of the line
all
is.
three of those lines, like, I like them all, but for as much as I hunt, and like I'll actually be able to hunt more now. But last year I was living an hour and a half from the only place I'm able to hunt.
Yeah.
And so I was setting out full weekends to go down when I wasn't working. And so at that time I couldn't justify paying that price for a bow, which bow works great for me. It's super adjustable. I suggest it to all my fellow female hunters, and it's worked great for me.
Cool. You're still shooting Matthews, right?
Yeah, well, I just got a Matthews.
You just got a Matthews. Got a new one.
Yep, Matthews lift 33, valid sight. Matthews or QAD drop away. Matthews accessories. Stuff it's shooting tight.
We want to do a bow setup podcast here sometime soon, where like all the guys bring their bows to the shop. And we have a chrono in there, so we'll be able to do the chrono and weigh the arrows and just all that eventually. But.
Yep, no, that'd be cool. I wanted to do one after me and Drake just both bought lifts. I wanted to do one together.
Our most watched podcast, like not our most listened to, but our most watched podcast on YouTube is the one we did with Ethan's new bow when he did the setup. Like,
really?
People just type in Matthews lift 33 and they got a ton.
It'll
of
probably
views.
do good. I mean, other than like the hardcore guys, it'd probably do good like a September podcast.
Yeah.
Like somebody who's just started thinking about hunting.
Yep.
Not your, somebody who buys their bow right after the deer season and shoots it out. I don't know. It depends, but
we'll see.
But yeah, once Drake gets his set up, he's
dragging his feet.
Too
busy chasing his girlfriend around.
Right. That and he's moving out. He's moving out of his parents. So
you guys are putting your podcast studio in his new living space, right?
Yeah, we just we're getting it all set up now. Did flooring, which is kind of a little echoey in there.
You just got to put a bunch of shit on the walls.
We're gonna put a bunch of shit on the walls.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're gonna get some sound dampeners.
Yep.
Put them up on the wall. Try to keep it pretty simple though, for the most part. Maybe
not too crowded.
Yeah. Like I don't like.
You're gonna have you're gonna buy those cool Amazon sound dampening.
Yeah, probably something like that. The only time I like it crowded is if it's a wall full of sheds. Like, you better fill the whole damn wall full of sheds.
Kind of like our backdrop.
Yeah, like that, something like that. But other than that, maybe just 2 mounts on the wall. Pretty simple. And
keep it clean.
Hopefully get a neon light or something, put it on the one side. But we've got a poker top table. 8-person poker top.
It's cool.
It should fit 6 and then 2 cameras, which I'm excited to kind of just play around with that and crank out some more or some better filmed YouTube podcasts.
Yeah.
So that should be cool.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. So we kind of touched on all your filming gigs, but what do you guys have in plan for Wildtine itself? So, you work, just so the audience knows, and everyone that's listening already knows Joey what he's doing, but he's a freelance photographer, filmer, so he works for a couple different outfits as his job in the fall, but he also runs his own YouTube channel, which is Wildtine TV, which is the booth we're sitting in and the stories we were talking about. So do you guys have anything planned, or are you just going to wing it all fall?
We're winging it, but what we do have set in stone is we go to Michigan every year. I wasn't able to make it the past 2 years because of work.
Yeah.
But I should be able to make it this year. I'm trying to free my schedule up. We went up there this past year for spring turkey season. We all already have the licenses,
Yep.
so it's like another $100 to buy the tag. The license was up front of like 170 or something. So we all have the licenses. We'll probably go up there. I should have that time freed up this year. I'm trying to keep that part of the schedule open. That's going to be early October, probably like the 5th through the 12th.
Okay.
They did a week for the first time last year, and they ended up shooting $2. Those are up on the channel. And then I'll probably be busy all end of October through early November with some work.
Do you know when is Latitude going to go to Indiana again?
It's not on the list. I'm sure.
Okay. It'd be cool if we could coordinate our trip with that trip.
If they did, it'd be the week right before their gun season.
Yeah, which is at 7th through the 14th.
Yeah, probably. It'd probably be that. I know I'm going to go to Indiana probably early, like opener, like October 1st. There's their marketing agent lives down in Cincinnati. Yeah. And it's a short little jaunt over there to Indiana. So we're gonna hunt like first 2 days in Ohio or something, and pop over to Indiana for a hunt or two. It's like an hour, 2 hours from his house or something like that.
Cool.
So that for sure. Probably just be bopping through Indiana, and then we're trying to line up a Wisconsin hunt.
That'd be cool.
I've been up to Wisconsin 3 or 4 times, and I love it up there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Everybody always asks me what my favorite state I've been to is, and I say southwest Wisconsin. Yeah. Rolling hills, plenty of timber, giant deer,
Buffalo County,
boatloads of turkeys. Buffalo. I mean, anywhere east and west of Madison, like an hour east or west of Madison, is just gorgeous. If you go even farther west of Madison, gorgeous. Tons of turkeys, tons of deer, giant deer.
Packers territory, man.
So we're gonna try to, we're gonna try to do like the 7th through, had it like 7th through 14th or something, the second week.
Okay.
If I can keep that open, I'd like to do that. Wisconsin's over-the-counter tag, usually fairly cheap. They give a discount to first-year buyers. Usually it's like, I think it's like less than $100 for a licensing tag. It's like $90, $95.
Cool.
For a deer tag. And then the big news is
big news.
The big news, yeah. I drew an Iowa tag this year.
Oh, yeah.
I told you about that, I think.
Late season Iowa tag.
Late season, second gun Iowa tag. And I've got a couple private farms to hunt out there. And then there's a ton of public around it. Yeah. So when I go out to Nebraska, I might stop and hang some cameras, but I might not. It's a gun tag.
Yeah. You might run into THP while you're out there.
Yeah, plan on just seeing what's on these private farms, maybe going out there a day early, throwing some cell cams up, seeing if anything gets pushed around. Or maybe hunt the private farms the first day, but it's from the 4th through 22nd, so
it's a big time frame.
Yeah, big time frame. Plan is
find some good weather and go.
I'm just going to take a camper out there and stay until I shoot one.
That should be fun.
Yeah, pound some public ground. But
you gonna bring a cameraman with you, like one of these guys, or
Gavin wants to go. Drake wants to go. My dad wants to go.
Gavin had to talk to his new boss. Gavin works for one of our guys, so he'll have to find the time now. But Dylan lets him.
Yeah, I'll probably have somebody with me. Like my dad wants to go out. He's friends with the farmers that have that private ground out there. Cool. He wants to go check it out, so he might ride out with me and then fly home midweek or something if I haven't shot yet. But yeah, Drake said he'd go. Gavin said he'd go. Cool. So I'll probably have documented pretty well and hopefully kill a giant.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But I'm not gonna be too picky. It's gonna be like 120 or up.
Well, I don't want to end
Iowa.
Dude,
you gotta go higher.
You gotta go like 140 or up. We'll see.
I've never been out there to hunt.
Play it by, especially you got 15 days, you said, or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pass a 130 on the first day.
No, probably not. I don't want to end this too abruptly, but we're at 46 minutes.
Are we?
We all got our booths we got to get to and do our work for. Everyone's starting to kind of squirm a little bit. And, it's been fun. It's been cool. Is there anything you want to add? Social media handles or anything?
Dead Set Taxidermy on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Thought about doing a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Just
There's a YouTube channel would be cool, but I'll just say it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
especially if you're by yourself. If you got some people that can help, it obviously adds to the experience. But I mean, you guys got what, 5 or 6 guys on your crew? We have like 8 to 10 guys on our crew, and you gotta have someone that really loves to sit in front of the computer and put together. But if you have all that stuff, it would be something worth talking about. And, I mean, that'd be a good conversation for another podcast sometime, actually, starting up the YouTube channel and all that. But this was Deer Shot Podcast, episode 54. We're at the Medina County Fair, which is over by the time you listen to this because it'll be on Monday. But
That's it.
yeah, had a good time. Enjoyed it.
thank you for having me. It's been
No
fun.
problem. Yeah, no problem.